Hello everyone. On this channel, I feel that information about what is happening in China is often not correctly conveyed to countries other than China, so I will be disseminating the information I have gathered in English. I'm getting information from multiple media, so I'd be happy if you could comment on the content of the video. Also, English is not my native language, so I use an AI speaker to create the voice to convey the information correctly. Today, I will explain the BMW ICE incident that happened last month. I think it was reported in the media all over the world, but depending on the media, there were some media that reported the Chinese Communist Party's announcement as it was and made a wrong report. For those of you who don't know, I'll give you an overview of what happened. At the Shanghai Motor Show, BMW made a fuss about discriminating against Chinese people by not handing out ice cream to Chinese people and giving ice cream to foreigners. A video has gone viral showing a Chinese person trying to get ice cream but being turned down by a foreigner who came later. I also checked it, but it was a video that a Chinese woman went to get ice cream first and was refused, and then a white man who came after that received the ice cream. It was taken at close range. Chinese SNS has uploaded destruction videos of destroying BMWs owned and possibly destroying other people's BMWs. And if there is an employee who owns a BMW, I tell my employees to replace it with a domestic car, and the company will subsidize 20,000 yuan. Not only that, they even said that they would restructuring if they didn't dispose of it within a month. Such protests were spreading all over China. According to BMW's announcement, the foreigner who received the ice cream is an employee and wears an employee badge. In order for non-employees to receive ice cream, they have announced that they must operate the app and follow the procedure to receive ice cream. And at the time of this video, he announced that the ice cream was actually gone and that he just gave him the ice cream he had left for his colleague. BMW insists that it is not discrimination against Chinese people. Now let me explain why the Chinese caused such a ruckus. Check out the claims made by BMW critics in China. I don't believe BMW's claims, saying they clearly discriminate between Chinese and foreigners. Looking at the video alone, it may seem discriminatory, but the foreigners receiving the ice cream appear to have a nameplate hanging from their necks. You can't tell from the video whether they are employees or not, but you can tell that they are related to the motor show or are in the same industry. Therefore, it is considered that it is different from the general customer. And the person who is handing out the ice cream is the problem. It's clearly the Chinese who are handing out the ice cream. A young Chinese woman. If there is discrimination against Chinese in BMW, there is no reason to hold a motor show in Shanghai. The people who were distributing the ice cream at the scene discriminated against each other, but the Chinese discriminated against the Chinese people. However, I think there is a possibility that this Chinese will discriminate against Chinese people. Until now, there have been protests in China because foreign companies are discriminating against Chinese people. If foreign companies really discriminate, they won't actively do business in China. So what are foreign companies thinking? They are doing business with wealthy people in China. The Chinese are bashing BMW, but in fact BMW sells a lot in China. Thanks to the sales of BMW, the Chinese joint venture company was able to extend its life, but the joint venture company filed for bankruptcy about 2 years ago. People who buy BMWs in China are wealthy. Not only BMW but also foreign luxury brands are selling to wealthy Chinese people. In other words, some foreign companies are dealing with Chinese people, but in reality they are dealing only with wealthy Chinese people. China is divided into the rich and the poor. Non-rich Chinese understand that they are discriminated against within the country. We understand our position in an unequal society, and we understand that we are treated differently. Because this disparate society is common sense, Chinese people are discriminating against Chinese people. The people who come to see a motor show are people who might buy a car, but basically they don't. In other words, they are ordinary customers who are just being ridiculed. If there was such an awareness among the Chinese, it is not strange to think that it appeared in the attitude of not handing out ice cream. The real feeling of those who are protesting this time is dissatisfaction with disparity. Chinese people who buy luxury cars and luxury brands are welcomed by companies, even though it is said to be discrimination against Chinese people. Others are not dealt with by foreign companies. It is common knowledge in the world that the response varies depending on the asset, but it is thought that the local employees who have not been well trained in China this time have shown their attitude. Wealthy people buy a lot of expensive things. People who are not wealthy can only consume the necessities of life. It means that there were many people who sympathized with the fact that people who couldn't buy a BMW despite their best efforts were rudely treated as being discriminatory against Chinese people. In other words, people who were dissatisfied with China's disparate society got a justification for not allowing BMW to discriminate against Chinese people, so they protested to clear their anger. Destruction videos were uploaded to SNS one after another, but after a while, Mercedes was also destroyed, so I think it was a protest against the disparity society. It is blamed on foreign companies, but in reality it is a popular uprising angry at the Chinese wealthy class. From the Chinese wealthy class, Benz and BMW are symbols of the wealthy class. Prideful Chinese people want something that can be clearly shown to the surroundings that they are wealthy. Therefore, wealthy Chinese people do not voluntarily switch to Chinese domestic cars. If there is, it would be if the Chinese Communist Party excluded foreign companies. However, in the past, Xi Jinping has a track record of excluding foreign companies even if they have a negative impact on the Chinese economy, so the possibility is not zero. Currently, we are promoting electric vehicles as a national policy, so we cannot exclude foreign companies until electric vehicles become widespread. More interesting things can be seen from the destruction video. I told you earlier that a video of you destroying your BMW has been uploaded. Owning is wealthy. Uploading videos of wealthy people destroying BMWs. This is not a protest against BMW, but a self-assertion that you are rich enough to destroy one BMW. So you can see that the Chinese wealthy people look down on the same Chinese people. By the way, as a company, BMW seems to be training Chinese people not to discriminate against Chinese people. There is a problem that it has become common knowledge to the extent that training is necessary, and that the awareness of Chinese people does not change even after training. No amount of training provided by the company will solve the deep-seated problem. In the end, the background of this problem is that there is a very large social disparity in Chinese society. That's all for now. See you next time.